Hello all. Um, it's been a very long, tiring day, but I thought that because it's been a little while since I gave you some updates, I'd do that right now. Today I was ambulance bound at 6:45 in the morning to take me to the hospital because let me rewind. A couple of weeks ago, I got a phone call from the hospital, the endocrinology unit, saying that I needed to come in and do a test on my adrenal gland to see whether or not the steroids I have been put on by the endocrinology specialist I saw, see whether or not they've been working. Thought it was a bit odd, but didn't think anything of it. And then Saturday just gone, I got a letter in the post, which was rather disturbing because it turns out that despite the fact that the endocrinologist had diagnosed me with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, he also had the suspicion that I have another autoimmune disease, a much more serious one called Addison's disease. And in addition to Addison's disease, he also felt that there's a possibility that I have something called super hypoadrenalism, which is essentially the failure of the adrenal gland. Now, we need the hormone cortisol to obviously fight, to help our immune system fight off attacks. And your standard person their adrenal glands should be producing cortisol at a rate of between 500 and 5,000. And when my blood tests came back, they were 61. So obviously you can see that was of some concern. And so I got this letter, going back now, I got this letter on Saturday morning talking about these illnesses that I had no idea about and I wasn't told about at the time when the Hashimoto's thyroiditis was diagnosed. So I also got a letter explaining what was going to happen in the tests this morning. Basically what happened was I had a cannula inserted into my arm, which you might have seen if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I had a cannula inserted into my arm, and initially some blood was drawn to measure the cortisol levels before a drug called synethicin was injected intramuscularly, and my blood level was then monitored again half an hour later and another half hour after that. So basically the start, the middle and the end of the test. And a dye was also inserted to see and measure how much my adrenal gland was working and how much it was producing. So I won't get those results for another week, but basically I'm kind of hanging on a line now, trying to find out whether or not I have this rather serious illness. So, prayers for me would be appreciated. Good thoughts, positive vibes, all that kind of thing, send them my way, please. Later on in the day, I then had to go to the haematology unit to see the consultant haematologist because a couple of weeks ago I did some tests and the results of those came back that yes, I do still have MGUS, which is the precursor to early onset myeloma. Now there's no treatment for MGUS. You basically have to just live with the pain, the fatigue, and the difficulties that it causes until it develops into early onset myeloma, which is actually blood cancer, and that is when there becomes treatment available. So yeah, I have to basically just have that monitored every 3 months for the time being. And so that's basically what happened today. It was quite a stressful day, really, really tiring and exhausting. I'm about ready to hit the sheets now, but that's basically where we are. Next up is my biggie appointment next week. Not smalls. I will be seeing my overall specialist to get the results of all the tests that I have had from head to toe over the last 4 months to confirm his initial diagnosis of Hashimoto's encephalopathy. Yes, there are two. And if that's the case, for him to then work out a treatment program based on that. Don't ask me what's going to happen if it turns out not to be the case, because I have absolutely no idea, but I shall keep you posted. In the meantime, let's see what else have we had to contend with. I had to contend with a really large move out of my flat, so that finally I am now out in the daylight. So I am no longer going to be hindered and kept indoors. It turned out to be 11 months in the end that I was stuck inside, but thankfully I'm now out. My flat is being adapted. I am imposing on my oh so amazing mother for a month whilst all those works are being done in my flat. So hopefully I'll have a pretty beautiful new home to move into in a couple of weeks' time. That's basically the lot of those. In the last video I did explain to you what chronic fatigue syndrome was, and I did promise to explain something else in this video, and I realise time's going fast, so I'm going to try and be quick about it. If I explain what my main illness is, which is fibromyalgia, it's known as the umbrella illness because it basically covers so many things. It covers what can I think of? It covers pain. It covers it's a nerve illness, but it kind of fools you into thinking it's your joints that are hurting you, but it's actually the nerves surrounding them. And I have pain in literally my whole body from my scalp to my toes. That it's fibromyalgia that makes my skin so sensitive that even my clothing is sore to the touch. Fibromyalgia does so many things. It essentially does, again, what it says on the tin, because obviously algia means pain, so therefore it really kind of follows that one through to the T, trust me on that. It also carries things like polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is something else I suffer with. It carries what else do we have? It carries memory fog. I warned you about this. Oh, memory fog. Memory fog's one of the symptoms. There you go. As well as memory fog, brain fog as well. So basically overall confusion, chronic fatigue syndrome, sleep apnea, which is again why I do not sleep at nights, and then add that to the fact that I then suffer from night pains as well. You realise why I do not sleep at night. What else do we have here? You have things like irritable bowel, bladder, incontinence. I have sensitivity, like I was saying, not just over my whole body, but basically everywhere in my body that there is a nerve. Now, I'm not going to go into detail. I'm going to let you work that out for yourself. But if you basically recognize that everywhere in my entire body that there is a nerve, I have pain there. So yeah, I get pain in some very uncomfortable places and very embarrassing ones as well, and it's not a fun experience. It covers so many things, I honestly could not list all of them. It affects your diet, it affects your sleep, it affects your nutrition. It covers everything, literally. That's why they call it the umbrella illness, because it covers so many illnesses. And yeah, to be honest with you, it's getting so late, I've completely lost my train of thought, so I'm not even going to attempt to carry on anymore. I will try and do better with the explanations on the fibro in another video, but to be honest, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I did not go to sleep until somewhere around 4, so I think this is where I call it a night. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your sitting through my rambling on, because I don't even know what I've said to you at this point. I'm so tired. But yeah, thanks for the time, and I'll promise the next video will be a lot better. Peace.